Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Econ Chat's videos designed to help you be successful in class and on the milestone, but maybe, possibly, even in life. And here we are. Welcome to a brand new school year, and congratulations on being one of the lucky ones that get to take economics. I guess you should probably figure out, what is economics? I always ask that question of my students early on, and you'll notice that I put on that first discussion question. I just simply wanted you to answer, what is economics? And here's the thing. Most of y'all didn't disappoint. You said what everybody tends to say, which is something about money, right? Like you'll say it's about money, or you'll say that it's about the creation of money, or it's how to manage money, or something along those lines. And the reality of the situation is that this course really isn't going to have a whole lot to do with money. Sure, there's going to be parts of it that we're going to discuss money, and we're going to get into all different aspects of it. But overall, when we talk about what is economics, you need to have a much different idea getting into it. And in fact, economics really doesn't have everything to do with money. So let me go ahead and start by giving you this definition. It goes a little something like this. Economics is the study of how people and societies satisfy unlimited wants and needs with limited resources. So there it is. Nothing about money in that definition at all. But it does bring up what economics is, and that is it's about making decisions, and it's about solving what we call the most basic problem in economics, scarcity. You probably already have an idea of what scarcity is. If you don't, let's see if we can figure it out. It basically has to deal with scarce, right? Like if something's scarce, it's not around. You don't have as much. And that's what we're talking about. In this world, right, we only have a limited amount of resources. And, whether we're talking about food, or we're talking about water, or we're talking about money, or time, or whatever that resource may be, we just don't have enough to fill everybody's wants and needs. And everybody, whether we're talking about individuals, whether we're talking about countries, whether we're talking about, whole world, has wants and needs. And those wants and needs are always growing, and they're always changing and evolving. So we have to somehow find a way, as economists, to fill the wants and needs of everybody, but at the same time doing so because we only have a limited amount of resources. So how do we do that? I'm glad you asked. So when we begin saying that, hey, we have this problem of scarcity, we have to fill these wants and needs, you pretty much have to make some decisions. And what I want you to understand is these terms that you've been studying or supposed to have been studying all revolve around that. These terms include, these are the important ones. I'll make sure you understand what scarcity is. Well, hopefully you already know that one. But then we also get into these things called trade-offs, opportunity costs, marginal cost, and marginal benefit. And hopefully you'll see that these are, again, all centered around decision-making and ultimately how we decide to use our scarce resources to fill these unlimited wants and needs. So let's talk about trade-offs and opportunity costs to begin with, right? So realize that whenever you make a decision to do one thing, you are giving up a bunch of other things that you could be doing. For example, you have decided to spend some time watching this video. I appreciate that. But I know, as well as you probably know, that there are probably a ton of other different things you'd rather be doing, right? Like right now, instead of watching me, you could be sleeping, or you could be hanging out with your friends, or you could be playing a game or something like that. But the reality of the situation is that you really can't do all of those things at one time. You can't watch the video, hang out with your friends, sleep, and play a game. I mean, I suppose you can try to sleep while watching this video, but you're not really watching the video then, are you? Either case, when we decide that we have to make decisions, when we decide that we don't have enough to go around, we then make the decision of what to choose. So you have chosen to watch this video. All of those other things, the other things you gave up, these alternatives are what we call trade-offs. So basically, everything else that you'd rather be doing right now, rather than watching this video, are your trade-offs. You decided to watch the video. You had some trade-offs with things that you could be doing over the course of these 5-10 minutes, however long this video ends up being. So you've traded off your time to to watch this video and you have given up your sleeping, you're hanging out with your friends, you're playing your games, whatever the thing may be. So where does opportunity cost come in? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here it goes. Opportunity cost, the definition is, it's the most desirable alternative given up as the result of a decision. Keep that keyword there, most keywords, that most desirable alternative. So basically the way to look at it is that you have your list of trade-offs, all the things you'd rather be doing. Your opportunity cost is your most desirable. It's your favorite trade-off. And, opportunity cost, what's the next best thing? So if you're sitting here and your eyes are drooping and you are just so ready to go to sleep, but you're watching this video instead, understand that you are giving up that 10 minutes of sleep. So your opportunity cost is that 10 minutes of sleep. Now, here's one thing I want you to get about economics. Economics exists outside of this classroom. It's like a real thing, and you can find it in your average everyday life. Let me give you an example here. It's that time of the year. It's coming, right? Football season. And I'll go ahead and admit to you people, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to football, in particular NFL football. I like college too, but I play fantasy football. Go ahead and make fun of me all you want. I don't care. I'm cool with it. I've been playing fantasy football since most of y'all were actually even born. So in doing my research for this year's draft, as I need to do, I came across this article from ESPN, and they're talking about last year's MVP, Patrick Mahomes. Take a look at what they're saying here about good old Patrick Mahomes. He says, look, I'm not crazy. Mahomes is still my top-ranked quarterback. The issue is his current ADP, average draft position, which is 19th overall. There is too much opportunity cost in selecting Mahomes in that range with the likes of Joe Mixon, Keenan Allen, Dalvin Cook, Mike Evans, T.Y. Hilton, and Zach Ertz still available. So, truth be told, I picked up Patrick Mahomes last year, rode him all the way to the playoffs. I didn't win, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. But either way, this article labeled him as a potential bust. The reason why they say that he's a bust is because that average draft position, he's saying, look, people are drafting him average at 19th. What that means is that's like a second round. And he's saying that, look, you only have one second round pick. And you have to make a decision with that limited resource, that one number 2 pick. So you have to make the right decision. And he's saying that the opportunity cost is too high. He's saying that if you make the decision to draft Patrick Mahomes, then you're giving up the potential to have any of these other players that will give you more value. It would be a much better decision in his world to draft any of those other players instead of Patrick Mahomes. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to debate him whether or not, because again, that kind of brings back that most important thing. It's his opportunity cost. It's your opportunity cost. It's your trade-offs, the things that you would rather be doing. It's what your government would rather be doing, your society would rather be doing, that decides what are trade-offs. But it's the issue of too high of an opportunity cost that brings us to the next set of words that you should know, and that involves marginal cost and marginal benefit. So when we talk about what marginal cost and marginal benefit is, it's all underneath the umbrella of something called marginal analysis. So we've already discussed, when we make decisions, what happens. Well, let's back it up and talk about how we make those decisions, and it all involves this idea of marginal analysis. So understand that marginal cost is the cost of procuring one more item, or basically of making one more thing, deciding to do one more thing is marginal cost. What is it going to cost me to do that? Marginal benefit is the benefit associated with that one additional item, or what I get out of making that decision. Ultimately, what you need to know, here's the key, that if the benefits are greater than the costs, we'll probably do that. If the costs are less than the benefits, meaning it's too costly, we're not going to do it. So look, this kind of materializes when it comes to people when they're hiring somebody. They have their marginal cost. What is it going to cost me to bring this person in, to hire them, to train them, to pay them, to insure them, whatever it is I have to do. And then I look at the benefits. What am I going to get out of this person? If I'm hiring this person, my hope is that I'm going to be getting productivity out of them. I'm going to be getting some money out of them. I'm going to be getting something out of them to make it worthwhile the cost. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me to pay somebody $20 an hour if I only bring in an additional $10 an hour. See, my marginal cost is $20 an hour. My benefit is $10 an hour. There's a problem there. Now, if I can bring in somebody and it cost me $10 an hour and I get $20 an hour out of bringing in that person or of doing that thing or making that decision, then I'm probably going to do it. The costs outweigh the benefits, we're not going to do it. But if the benefits outweigh the costs, then we will. That's ultimately how we make decisions. So, bringing it all back to you, please make sure you understand how all of these terms kind of work together and how they flow and have an understanding of them. Again, scarcity, it's the most basic problem in economics. It's the thing that we're always trying to solve. We have unlimited wants and needs, but only a limited amount of resources. So we have to make some decisions. We make decisions based upon looking at marginal costs and looking at the benefits. If those benefits outweigh the cost, then we do it. Now, when we make those decisions, understand we're going to have trade-offs, and there's going to be things we have to give up in order to do that because we made the decision to do something. And our favorite, the best, the next best alternative is what we call opportunity cost. There it is, the first flow of economics, the stuff that you need to know early on. And that's your first new kind of Econ Chats. I hope it made some sense of some things for you. Don't worry, I'm going to have some more videos popping up that'll give you some more information. But if you have any questions, make sure you let your teacher know. You take care of yourselves. Bye.